Today is Tuesday, December 10th, and the Yankees have signed Max Fried between the bases starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Between the Bases podcast. My name's Noak. Alongside me is Mo. And Mo did not want to do a sad episode talking about Juan Soto, just like he didn't want to talk about how the Yankee season ended. But Mo, since today's a happy day, Yankees on Max Fried. How are you doing?
Doing great. Very happy. We got Max Fried, a Jewish pitcher. Besides being Jewish, great pitcher. Lowest ERA in MLB since the start of the 2020 season. I think he's criminally underrated. People are acting like this is some extreme overpay and that he's this injury-prone pitcher, when in both cases it's neither of those. He's had one injury, it's Tommy John, but people are acting like it's rare to get Tommy John nowadays. I feel like everybody gets Tommy John. It's bound to happen. You already got it. He might get a second time. Fine, whatever. But $27.5 million for a top 10, arguably top 5 pitcher in baseball isn't crazy. You see Luis Severino getting, what do you get? $17 million a year. He's 4 ERA pitcher. Okay. Frankie Montas, what do you get? 2-year, 28? Was that what it was?
I think Montas got somewhere around the $28 million range. Yeah.
$15 million for that. Okay. And we signed one of the best pitchers in baseball for $27.5 million yearly. That's not a crazy overpay. That's paying for his value, maybe even less than his value. And if he stays healthy, which isn't really a big if because he's done that his whole career besides the 2023 season, it's a good deal for the Yankees. And his stuff, he doesn't heavily rely on a fastball. Yes, he has a great fastball, but his secondary stuff, his changeup, his curveball, those are his pitches that, make him an elite pitcher. He's not going to regress massively when he, gets older because his velocity is going to decline. He has other good secondary pitches. That's why, it's mind-blowing to me that people are saying that his contract's too long, it's overpay, he's injury prone. It makes no sense to me.
Listen, it's mainly Mets fans they're hearing that from because Mets fans are salty that King Cohen didn't sign another free agent because they think that he should sign every free agent. But enough about the Mets. Yeah, the Yankees signed Max Fried, and it's not an overpay. You look at the market. Garrett, Carlos Rodon, we all thought was an overpay. What was that, 6 for like 160 range now? Now that seems that they barely paid him any money, because the market just keeps on going up and up. Luis Severino is not making close to what Carlos Rodon makes a year. So to call Carlos Rodon now an overpay, but they got Max Fried, and I said in the last episode, Logan, I know you weren't on it, that the Yankees have the opportunity to make this a much better offseason without Juan Soto, and that starts with Max Fried. They got to go now and get Walker, which we'll talk about later, and they got to go out and get Tucker now, which we'll talk about later, and maybe Bellinger. I love this move for the Yankees. They got Garrett Cole now, and now they got someone behind them, Max Fried and Carlos Rodon. And when you get mad, Carlos Rodon, that's what you don't want to see. They got the reigning Rookie of the Year winner. They got Clark Schmidt, Nestor Cortez, Marcus Stroman. So while we're on the topic of starting pitching, the Yankees obviously are going to trade, I think, at least 2 of those because now they have 7 starting pitchers. Which 2 do you think they deal, and who do you think they deal them for?
I think they're definitely going to be aggressively shopping Stroman. I don't know what they're going to get for him. I don't know if it's going to be possible to trade him, but I think that that's one of the goals of this Yankees offseason, to get rid of Stroman. And then I think it depends on what their goals are, on who they're trying to get and everything. I see Heel getting thrown around a lot in mock trades. I could see Heel getting traded. I think if they want to go after a guy like Tucker, I think he's more likely to get traded more so than Schmidt, because he's 4 more years of control. He just won Rookie of the Year. He has amazing stuff. I think he would be the guy if they want to go after a big name like Tucker. I think it's going to be – I think they're going to try to get rid of – not try to get rid of Heel. They're definitely going to try to get rid of Stroman, but I think if they want to go after a big name, Luis Heel will be the one that's going to be, dangled in those trades.
Listen, I don't know where you get with Stroman. Maybe flip a bat for Stroman, like maybe something like Jamar Candelario from the Reds, because I don't think you're going to add Stroman in a deal for Cody Bellinger, because Stroman was a Cub. The Yankees signed him away from the Cubs. The Cubs saw what Stroman is, and they didn't really like him that much. He pitched well in the first half. second half, it kind of crumbled for them. So I don't think they want Stroman back for Ballinger or Nico Horner. I think you're going to have to give away either Clark or Heel. But I think the Yankees have to shift their focus now to Kyle Tucker, because Kyle Tucker to me is a better fit for this Yankee team than Juan Soto, because he plays defense. He's a great hitter. Yankee Stadium now. Um, you got to get it done. You got to re-sign him right away. But what are your thoughts on getting Kyle Tucker from the Astros?
Kyle Tucker, it would be amazing. Kyle Tucker. Every night, just it's all I think about. All day in school, I'm just thinking, oh, we gotta get Kyle Tucker. We gotta get Kyle Tucker. He's he's shown that he can be close to a level of a hitter that Juan Soto is. Juan Soto is a two-tool player, maybe, right? Kyle Tucker's a five-tool player. He steals bases, amazing defense, hits for contact, hits for power. He does everything. There's nothing Kyle Tucker cannot do. And also, he's not represented by Scott Boras, which I think they can see that. They're like, that's a plus, because Scott Boras, he's going to try to, he's going to make them wait till free agency. With who Kyle Tucker's with, here it's an agency that, tries to get extensions done with the teams that they're on. So if we get Kyle Tucker, sign him to the extension, that would be, and, we already got Max Fried. And if they could also sign Christian Walker, that offseason is way, way better than getting Juan Soto would have done. It's incomparable. It would, fill the hole in first base. We'd get a top 10 player in baseball in Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker would have amazing lineup protection with Aaron Judge. It would just transform this Yankees team. It would be, it would be unreal if the Yankees got Kyle Tucker. I really hope it happens.
I really hope it happens too. But if you're the Yankees, you're probably going to have to pay a tax that no other team is going to have to pay. Maybe the Rangers would have to pay because they're the Yankees. The Astros hate the Yankees because the Astros are going to be fighting for the Yankees for the playoffs and the World Series. So I think that tax there comes higher. I think you'd have to give away Heel. I think you'd have to give away Nestor. I think you'd have to give away Spencer Jones. And if you want Framber Valdez too, you'd have to throw away Dominguez. I don't think the Yankees want another pitcher at the moment, but you have to get this deal done for Tucker because this is like Juan Soto, and if you do get him, you got to sign him right away. You cannot let him hit the open market because then Steve Cohen is just going to outbid you again, and you do not want that to happen, do you, Yankees? Do you?
Yeah, I hear you. I heard you say Nestor Cortez would, be involved in that trade. I think you're completely wrong with that. I don't know why the Astros would want him. I think if the Astros do trade Tucker, it means that they've lost confidence in re-signing Bregman, and they're essentially ending. They're gonna. It essentially means that they're going into more of a developmental retool type of year. I don't want to say rebuild because I don't really see them rebuilding. I'd say like more of a retool type of year. I don't think they want a 31-year-old pitcher who's been inconsistent, hasn't really been an elite pitcher since 2022.
I don't think he was ever an elite pitcher.
He was elite in 2022.
He was good. He wasn't elite. He's
He
not
was
like
elite.
Garrett Cole. He's
He had
Nestor
a,
Cortez.
he had a 2.7 ERA. Was stayed healthy the year. He was elite that year. But his injury history. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense for the Astros to try to go after Nestor Cortez. It just doesn't. I would be shocked. I think this trade would consist of, Luis Heel for sure, unless they'd rather trade one of those guys. But I assume Heel, Spencer Jones, and I think also Roderick Arias could be involved in this trade. I see him as a name that could definitely be involved because his potential is a ton of potential. He could get ton of. I would think right now he has some good value. Even though he struggled a bit in the minors, he has all the tools to be a great, great player. I think he's a name that has a real chance of getting traded.
All right, moving on. You mentioned before the Yankees signed today, Jew Max Fried, but they also are about to go sign a Christian. He goes by the name Christian too. His name's Christian Walker, from the Diamondbacks. What are your thoughts on signing Christian Walker?
I hope they get it done. With that being said, though, this deal cannot be more than 3 years. He's 30. He's going to be 34 in March. If this deal is a 4 or 5 year deal, it's not worth it. We're gonna have another situation like DJ LeMahieu with a guy just taking up first base and just not putting up any production. I hope the Yankees get this done, and I think it would be around the $20-25 million average annual value For Christian Walker, I hope it's a 2 or 3 year deal. If that happens, I'd be very happy. It would be a great move. The Yankees need a first baseman, need some power after losing Soto. Just a great arm player, good defender too. Christian Walker would be huge.
Listen, you haven't hit a home run at first base since July 31st, and that's a power position right there. Um, you need to sign Christian Walker again. Yeah, probably to a 3-year deal. And I mentioned yesterday on the podcast with Logan, you weren't on it. And I said, please do not sign Pete Alonso. That'd be a slap in the face, little brother over there. And I used the best friends and the girlfriend analogy. That it's like stealing your ugly girlfriend and they steal your hot girlfriend. You know, that's like the analogy. Like you really want Pete Alonso after they took Juan Soto? Like no, no, please don't do that, Yankees. Please don't. And another person we mentioned yesterday that I do not want, who can become the next Josh Donaldson, is Nolan Arenado. We were going back and forth with through text today, and you said that you don't want Nolan Arenado for the same reason. You think he's going to become the next Josh Donaldson. So,
Right.
want to touch up on that?
It's, he's been regressing. He hasn't been a great player really since 2022. 2023, he was solid. Last year, he was average. He's a great defender, which Josh Donaldson was, but he's declining. 3 years left on his contract with a whole lot of money. It just really doesn't make sense. But we heard from Jack Curry today that the Yankees are not really interested in bringing Nolan Arenado to the Yankees, which was great news to hear. I'm happy with Jazz Chisholm staying at third base and then using Caleb Durham at second. I do not want Nolan Arenado on the Yankees.
Before you wrap up, you weren't on for the Soto episode. You want to let your feelings out on Juan Soto? Want to let them out right now?
No.
No, he wants to keep it to himself. He knows the Mets fans are going to come after him. I mean, Yankees got to get the brand back. We're no longer a brand. We're just the Yankees. We're not the New York Yankees. We're just the Yankees, a baseball team. No longer the brand. No longer. Thank you, Juan Soto, for that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anything else want to touch up on before we leave?
No, I'm good.
All right, we will be on a watch to see if Christian Walker signs. We will be doing an episode once he signs, or if they get Tucker, or something else happens in the baseball world that's crazy. Remember to like, subscribe, so you don't miss out on that. And we'll see you later. Let's go Yankees, everyone. Get back the brand.